Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at AMD. We closed at 160.46, and as you can see, price just came down to this look 157.43, found some support. Is that going to take us back to the upside? I always say, where are the trouble places, right? So as of right now, we can say that 157.60 would kind of like be our support area, or if you're looking on that much smaller scale as I like to do, 157.77. This area here could be a support area for us. Now, back to the upside, we have that 5 EMA, which could be a resistance area, 158.13. I have the 158.23 as an area of resistance, not very far away, right? So moving to the upside, continuing to the upside, resistance areas 158.50, another 158.95, breaking that level, 159.18. There's a few layers of resistance. We have that ATR trail and stop, and this a level that we have marked. We can use that 20 EMA for those that use the moving averages. That could be an area of resistance. So in my opinion, for AMD today, 159.18 area could be a strong area of resistance. Breaking that 159.52. Should we break that 159.87, breaking that 160.07, and as you can see, that kind of puts us that 160.07, 160.24, 160.39 kind of puts us back in this zone that we were trading in on yesterday. So, that's strong resistance in my opinion. Should we break that 160.39, 160.58, if we should break that area, 160.75, and again here at 161.02, breaking that 161.34. Now, let's look to the downside for AMD. Today, should we break to the downside? I do that often. Should we break to the downside, we could possibly, let's say under this 157.43 area, I had the 157.31. Should we break that level today, 157 could be a support area if we should break that 156.75 and breaking that level 156.18. Should we break that 155.82 and again 155.54, breaking that 155.10 and here at 154.84, breaking that 154.84, have 154.54 as a support area. Now breaking that, we have that 154.02. So if you're trading AMD today, I say it often, y'all, market levels, once it goes against your reason for getting in the trade, get out so that we can live to trade another day, right? So we are now looking at Meta. We closed at 779, and we are in that little gathering spot from this line to this line. I call it the gathering spot or the zone, right? So support as of now 775.96, and again, if we're looking at resistance on a smaller scale, we can mark this level here of 777.34 because price is just gathering in this area here, and that's kind of like where our 20 EMA is, but I kind of like went to where the body of these candles are here. So as of now, where the trouble places for Meta, getting back above that 777.34, we could possibly have trouble 778.43. Should we break that level, 779.87, and breaking that 780.60. Now breaking that 780.60, the next level I have here is at 784.28. Keep in mind, we could very well get stopped out in this area here. I say it often, y'all, in this market, anything is possible. Now breaking this, let's say the 784.75, 785.87 is the next level, and breaking that somewhere around the 787.52. Those are possible areas of resistance for Meta today. Now let's look back to the downside. Let's say we break under the 775.96. Keep in mind, there's a few layers of support. In my opinion, that ATR trail and stop is a very strong area of support right here. So at 775.52, and then using that 50 EMA, 775.10 in this area, should we break under that 775.10 area, we could very well come back to 774.03, 773.22, 771.93, 771.38. breaking that 770.53. Should we break that 769.50 and breaking that 768.50 and breaking the 768.50 brings us back to around the 767.11, which puts us kind of back in this area. I'd say the zone or the gathering spot from, on yesterday. So if you're trading Meta today, those are possible areas of support and resistance. Again, not financial advice. Let me say that, right? So I say mark your levels. I say that often, y'all. Mark your levels. And once it goes against your reason for getting in the trade, make sure you have the discipline to get out. So we're now looking at NVDA. We closed at 174.88. And as you can see here, I'd say we come down, bounced off this 170, 174 area, and looks like we could possibly, well, that 5 EMA could be our trouble place as of now, getting back above that. Let's say that 172.76. Should we get back above that, we could possibly have trouble here, 173.08, and breaking that, 173.49, breaking that, 173.63, and breaking that, 174. Y'all see that is where our 20 EMA is as of now. I just love to see that, right? So breaking that 174 area, 174.18, breaking that brings us back to around the 174.52, but that is right where that ATR trailing stop, 174.49 area. I just like to see that, right? So breaking that, we could possibly have trouble, 174.68, and breaking that level, 174.92. Y'all see it's really close to where that 50 EMA is as of right now. Simple support and resistance, right? So breaking that 174.92 for NVIDIA today, possibly have trouble again, 175.22, 175.47, and breaking that. We can use that 200 EMA as of now, 175.76, but I have a level here marked of 175.88. So those are possible areas of resistance for NVIDIA today. Let's look to the downside. Say we break back under the 172.35 and under the 172.16, we could possibly have support or find support again at this 171.96. Y'all see that we stopped right at an area we kind of knew, right? So 171.96, breaking that brings us back to 171.74. We kind of knew we could possibly have trouble in this area. Breaking that brings us back 171.45, and there's a few layers here, 171.40, 171.29. So there's a few layers of support right here for NVIDIA. Now breaking that brings us back to the 170.92 area. Should we break the 170.92, we could very well come back to 170.43. And again, here at 170.05, breaking that 170.05 area, 169.88, and here at 169.55. Those are possible areas of support and resistance. Again, I say anything is possible, right? So once it goes against your why, make sure you have a plan. Make sure you have a plan. So if you're trading NVIDIA today, I would say trade carefully, right? So we do have a few inside day candles. I like to give those, meaning if we break above this area, we could possibly reach this target, or if we should break under this area, this is the possible target. Charge point being one of those, meaning if we break above the 1073 today, possible target for charge point CHPT is $10.83. Now back to the downside, under $10.42, we have a downside target of $10.35. And let's see how much charge point normally moves, 59 cents. That is the ATR, or the average true range for that stock. So if that's something that you trade, I say trade carefully. So Intel INTC is also an inside day candle, meaning if we break above 25.34, upside target today, 25.46, not very far away. Now breaking under the 24.69 area brings us back to the 24.21 as a target. So INTC, Intel, it normally moves about 68 cents per day. That is the ATR, or the average true range for that stock. So LABU is on our list today as an inside day candle. I like to see that. LABU, say if we break above this level here of 78.63, we have an upside target 79.41 to the downside, under 76.23 downside target today 74.93. Let's see how much LABU normally moves, $4.20 per day. Again, that is the ATR, average true range for LABU. So if that's something that you trade, I say trade carefully. MU or Micron is also an inside day candle for today above 159.56, gives us a target of 160.34 to the downside, under 157.17 gives us a downside target today 156.45. And let's see, MU normally moves about $5.67. Again, that is the ATR, the average true range for MU. So that's something that you trade. I said often trade carefully. Roblox or RBLX is an inside day candle. 138.74 to the upside. If we break that, 139.97 is the target, y'all. We've already broken through the downside trigger of 135.15. Downside target today was 134.23. We've made a 134.50 target thus far to the downside. So Roblox or RBLX normally moves $5.30. Y'all keep in mind that is in either direction. So if that is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. Let's go and look at the SPY today and see where we are. The SPY closed at 660. Yes. So it seems to be trading in this zone here, y'all. Look, it's interesting that this candle here at 4:30 came down to a level that we have marked, right? I just love to see that. So where are the trouble places as of now? Support for the SPY was at that 659.11. As you can see, resistance again on a smaller scale, 659.63. We have a few moving averages, one being that 20 and that 50 EMA. We could use that as a resistance area. So 660.02 could be a trouble place for us. So breaking that for the SPY today, possibly 660.51, breaking that, we can use that ATR trail and stop 660.66. Breaking that level, we could possibly have trouble 661.04 and breaking that 661.38. Should we break that? Let's go and mark this level here. Something stopped us. Let's say we can say around this area here. Something stopped us here, body here, here, and here. So let's say around this area of 661.75 could be a rejection area. Breaking that 662.03 and breaking that level for the SPY today. We can mark this here somewhere around this level of 662.40. And should we break that for the SPY today, 662.68 could be, or 662.65 could be a rejection area for us. Now back to the downside, under the 659.11, we could very well come back to around that 658.51, and y'all see the 200 EMA as of now 658.30. Breaking that brings us back to the 657.59, and should we break that level, 656.65, breaking that 656.65 for the SPY today, 655.57 could be a support area, and should we break that area, we could possibly come back to the 654.81, 654.55, 653.94, 653.68, 653.36, breaking the 653.36. Y'all see there's a few layers here. So let's say 656.36, we could possibly come back to 652.98, 652.66, and 652.17. So if you are trading the SPY today, those are possible areas of support and resistance. And y'all know I say it often, in this market anything is possible, right? So we are looking at Tesla. I say it so often, y'all. Tesla does what Tesla does, right? So today, we closed at 421.62. Tesla is an inside day candle. I needed to say that, right? So as of now, support is around this level here of 416.45. Back to the upside, we can use this 5 EMA as a, the moving average as a resistance area, 417.50. 54 is the level that I have marked. Breaking that possibly for 1971. Should we break that? Something stopped us around that 420.49 area. Breaking that 421.43. And should we break that? Y'all see the ATR trailing stop is right there at a level that I have marked for Tesla right here at the 422.22. Breaking that brings us back to 423.25. Possibly have trouble there. Should we break that? 425.39 is a rejection area, or could be. Let me rephrase that. Could be a rejection area for Tesla. I do that often, right? So breaking this area of 425.70. Let me go back to my normal view of that okay, so breaking above that 425.39, 426.43, breaking the 426.43 area, 427.01, and should we break that level, 429.99, there's a few layers of resistance for Tesla right there in that area. So let's just say that. So if we should break this area, 429.99, 434.54, and here at 436.19. So there's a lot of resistance here from, let's say, from the 425.39 up to the 429.99. We could very well get stopped out for Tesla. Now let's look to the downside. Say we break under this level here of 416.45. I always say something stopped us here at this area of 414.99. Something stopped us in this area. So breaking that brings us back to this 413.75. And should we break that? 412. Breaking the 412, there's a level right under that, 411.43. And should we break that? 410.01 could be a support area. Should we break that level? 407.89, 406.57, 404.80, and again here at 402.54. There's a few layers here at that 402.54 down to the 402.02. Should we break that? We can use that 200 EMA as of now, $400.69. That could be a support area. Breaking that, 399.17. And should we break that, 397.16? Breaking that for Tesla today, possibly 394.18 could possibly be a support area for us. Now, I did mention that Tesla was an inside day candle, so back to the upside. If by chance we break above 423.25, upside target for Tesla today, 425.70. Now to the downside, if by chance we break under this level, 414.99, which was a support area, we bounce from there. Is that going to give us a hammer and take us up? That's something to be mindful of, right? So if by chance we break under the 414.99 downside target, let me rephrase that. If we break under 411.43, which is here, 411.43 for Tesla, we have a downside target today down here around the 402.43. So yes, if Tesla should break under 411.43 today, downside target for Tesla today is 402.43. So again, I said often, y'all, this is what I see when I look at the market. There's so many different ways to trade the market. Again, what's challenging is trying to figure out the strategy that works best for you, making sure that you have a plan before going into the trade. So I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day today. Again, if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.